Daniel and Claire had been married for 9 years. They met at a mutual friend's New Year's party in their early 20s, hit it off instantly, and never looked back. Daniel was calm, methodical, and fiercely loyal. Claire was outgoing, full of charm, and loved being the center of attention. Their personalities balanced each other, or so Daniel thought. They had a modest but comfortable life. Daniel worked in logistics, managing operations for a shipping company. Claire had recently joined a local architecture firm after bouncing between freelance design jobs. The first few years were good. They shared a small apartment, saved up for a house, and eventually moved into a 3-bedroom home on the edge of town. Friends envied their relationship, always smiling, always together. But over time, things shifted. Claire stayed out later. Daniel noticed more work dinners, vague explanations, a coldness in her touch. She'd flinch when he reached for her phone. She started dressing differently, more polished, more expensive. Daniel didn't want to believe anything was wrong. He told himself she was just evolving, becoming more career-focused. He tried to support her. Then one night, everything changed. Daniel came home early from work with takeout in hand, wanting to surprise her. But she wasn't home. Her car was in the driveway. The house was quiet. Too quiet. He walked upstairs calling her name, but there was no answer. When he reached the bedroom door, he heard muffled voices. One male, one female. His hands trembled as he pushed the door open. Claire was in bed, half covered, laughing softly with a man Daniel had never seen before. They both froze. Claire's face turned white. The man reached for his shirt on the floor. Daniel didn't yell. He just stood there, completely still, staring. Then he turned and walked out. In the weeks that followed, Claire tried to explain. She said it was a mistake, that it started as an emotional connection with a coworker named Paul and escalated. She said she didn't mean to hurt him. Daniel barely spoke. He moved into a friend's guest room and filed for divorce. But Daniel didn't stop there. He'd heard about something called alienation of affection, an old law that still existed in their state. It allowed a spouse to sue the third party who interfered in a marriage. At first, it felt ridiculous. He wasn't the kind of man who sought revenge, but the betrayal ran too deep. He felt stripped of everything, his love, his home, his peace. With a lawyer's help, Daniel filed a civil lawsuit against Paul, the man Claire cheated with. The courtroom was sterile and cold. Paul sat stiffly in a suit, trying to look composed. Claire avoided Daniel's eyes. Daniel testified about their marriage, about how it deteriorated, about the night he walked in and saw the life he knew end. His voice didn't break, but everyone could hear the weight in it. Claire testified too. She said their marriage had problems, that it wasn't perfect, but even she admitted the affair started before they'd separated. Paul tried to defend himself, saying he never intended to destroy anything, but the evidence was clear. Text messages, receipts, even photos. In the end, the judge ruled in Daniel's favor. He was awarded a large financial settlement, not millions, but enough to make a statement. More importantly, it gave him something he hadn't felt since that night: control. Daniel never cashed the check. He left it in a drawer, unopened.